Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of From Solo to Duel. So this is a series of Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel where we take a look at the structure decks that you get for free by completing quests in solo mode and see if they're actually worth building upon or not. So we have this list here of Warrior of the Six Elemental Lords, though oddly enough it's actually this one takes quite a while. It doesn't actually give you a structure deck, and I think it might be in the gate, but we're kind of waiting on that one because we still need a few more gems a few more of a particular gem that we don't have quite yet. The next one that we were able to complete is Ruin and Demise. This one is a ritual spell deck. So if we take a look at the deck that you get from the loaner, it primarily focuses on summoning these either Ruin Queen of Oblivion or Demise King of Armageddon. Now, Ruin Queen of Oblivion usually is specializes in getting a free second attack. Demise King of Armageddon, well known for destroying all other cards on the field by paying a certain amount of life points. I will note that the most important part of this deck would actually be the ultra rare version of these cards. So that would be Ruin Supreme Queen of Oblivion, and that is primarily because they have a protection effect built in. So as long as you're able to ritual summon Ruin Supreme Queen of Oblivion, ritual monsters you control cannot be destroyed by card effects. Whereas with Demise Supreme King of Armageddon, while this ritual summon card is on the field, your ritual monsters cannot be destroyed by battle. So those are the important parts. There are a few cheaper versions of the ritual. So this one gets you 2 attacks, but it's only 1/7. Demise gets you an ability to destroy 1 face-up monster on the field, and when these smaller versions go down, you can. It gives a protection effect, but that one hasn't been that quite relevant. So that is the premise of the deck. But what is the deck that we actually get? So let's take a look at it. We get, well, the good news is we get 3 copies each of Ruin and Demise, which are ritual summoned at 8. You also get 3 copies each of End of the World and Cycle of the World, which are the spells that are used to ritual summon, as well as 3 copies of Turning of the World, which is a way to ritual summon from the deck, but you have to tribute ritual monsters to get them out, so a little bit pricey there. But unfortunately, assembling the combo is not that easy. Like if you don't draw all the parts that you need immediately in your opening hand, you are kind of reliant on Manju of the Thousand Hands to get you a ritual monster from your deck to hand, or a Sonic Bird to get you a ritual spell from your deck to hand. So not quite great there. You also get a bunch of other spells that kind of work sideways, but in the long run not very great in this meta. Like even Breaking of the World, it gives you additional extra benefits, but it's very hard to put. But it does take up extra slots which you would rather prefer to use to get your ritual monster out to begin with. It's essentially a win more, although the deck has to win quite a bit to begin with. There's also these copies of Ascending Soul. It's a continuous spell that refills your hand a bit. Again, not quite what we're looking for. Also because you can kind of use Cycle of the World to do that. There's a Ritual Buster which you can use to delay your opponent's spell or trap cards, but that spell or traps, there are plenty of monster effects that we have to deal with. And there's a Renewal of the World. Unfortunately, this one is really timed on your own turn. You don't get a quick effect with it, so not that useful. So illustrating the difficulties with this deck is getting the necessary creatures you need to ritual summon, and getting the ritual summon parts with it. We do get one clue. I'm trying to remember which deck has it. No, not this one. Though that one uses Honest as a way to keep getting cards in. This one is not quite it also. I would have thought that... Nope, we didn't. Nope, not in either of these. And I don't think this loner has it either. Nope. You're gonna have to kind of discover it on your own. So this is the version of the deck that I recommend running. And even then, that's assuming that you're willing to go as far as to give this deck a try. If you happen to have the cards, go for it. The number one roadblock to this deck is the ultra rare copies of Ruin Supreme Queen of Oblivion, Demise Supreme King of Armageddon. Maybe if you're swimming in crafting points, you can go ahead with this, but this can be pretty pricey, and there are plenty of other cards you would rather do. That said, there is a cheaper way to get around to this. So what we would use instead is, so instead of Sonic Bird, Senju of 1,000 Hands, we use Manju of the 10,000 Hands. So it gives you the choice of either a ritual monster or a ritual spell. That choice is being important. Then the next thing that's important would be the incantation cycle. So there are a bunch of these creatures that are 0/0. They're pretty much there just for their levels because you're using them for ritual summon. Now, if you have one of the pieces but not both, you can essentially use it to tutor the one that you want to get the other one off. So the trick is, you can reveal either a ritual monster or a ritual spell depending on what you have and depending on which one you have. There is still kind of a bit of an A/B thing here, so you're hoping that some parts fit. But if you do, you can summon this card and another incantation monster from your deck. Ideally, you're getting either the Candoll to get you a ritual spell from your deck to your hand, or the Talismandra to get you a ritual monster from your deck to your hand. It's also one of the only ways to get the ultra rare ones because they only count for their tutored names if they're on field or on hand. So you're not cheating them out with Turning of the World. You really have to use Cycle or maybe Impcantation Inception. We actually have a copy of Chalislime and Crealtar just in case, but otherwise it's pretty much on those. We also have 2 copies of Pre-Preparation of Rites, a very good way to get a ritual spell and a ritual monster. Again, take note, it will not get the ultra rare versions, but being able to get one of the the 8 level ones should be sufficient. It also gives you enough fodder at least. That said, that's pretty much the deck. Everything else is pretty much removal. Dark Hole, Feather Duster, Raigeki, Monster Reborn, though you do have to ritual summon first, so there's a little bit of a caveat there. Solemn Judgment, Solemn Scolding. Ideally, you want to be running some of the other hand traps like can't remember the exact name of that one. Or I don't know, can I even spell it? I know it's Impertinence? Nope, can't spell it for the life of me. Oh, but there is a hand trap that that you can use to negate a monster effect from your hand. That's pretty good. You probably want to have a couple of those. We have the usual Ash Blossom. Again, you probably need a lot more hand traps just to make sure that you don't get run over, especially if you're not able to get the level 10 quite right away. But otherwise, we'll see how it goes. Also, ideally, you kind of want to go first because sometimes you can, if you're going second, you're hoping you either have a way to clear their stuff, or that they did not set did not set up a lot of protection. That's pretty much the one difference between the old and new, is that there is plenty of protection nowadays. Yeah, a bunch of traps, not so great. We can use the Impcantation Talismandra to get the proper spell. But Ruin protects us from card effects, so that is a thing. So I can go for Impcantation Inception right away, but if this gets countered, that becomes a problem because we lose everything. Ideally, I want to do the effect activation first. Use this to get Candoll. We can use this to get Cycle of the World. Because with this in the graveyard, it gives us a copy of End of the World. So let's see if they have a count. So let's see if... Okay, so I honestly have no idea what they have. So the only thing that can wreck this is combat. Yes, activate. That only deals that just deals extra damage. Unfortunately, it does not because we did not use ritual monsters to ritual summon. What is this anyway? So this is... Oh, so this is a pendulum deck. So we ideally want to use Talis. Oh, when it's setting up a lot of traps now, but okay. Tuning Magician. And one half of the pendulum. We're just... The other half of the pendulum's not there. Also take note. If you have a mud in your... okay, so nothing on the other pendulum zone, so that can't be activated. Monster Reborn says why not. Now, we can... effect activate. Now let's see what they actually have. They might be able to counter this. Use Ash Blossom to prevent them from adding to their deck. So hold on. You can ritual monster in your graveyard. You can use this for a ritual spell in graveyard. Which sure. Get back Cycle of the World. Let's... Kind of a bit overkill. So probably will attack with Ruin. We can also Monster Reborn one of their cards, but neither of these are worth it. So that gets us a second attack in a row. And I have no idea what our opponents set on us their traps, but it looks like it looks like we got there. I'm betting that those are cards that destroy, but because those are cards that destroy, but because of Ruin Queen of Oblivion's effect, that kind of wrecked them. So we got one decent win there. We'll take it. I think I will choose a different partner next time. But I don't expect every game to go that easily. Like our opponent had multiple cards that didn't do anything. Yes, first or second's always the issue. I think I'll go second. I'm doing this primarily to show that if our opponent's able to get a good setup, we might not be able to punch through. We do have... So this time, we have one response card, but it's very horrible. We are missing an imp. I guess we use this right away. The problem is that these decks have plenty of cards that do shooter effects. So that single Ash Blossom isn't gonna cut it. It's not like I short circuited their turn. They probably have a backup. Huh. Oh, those are nice Hanafuda cards actually. Now I think of it. So 2 monsters. So this is probably a Link summon. What's the banish effect on this? Banish remaining cards. Going for the Koi. I would actually like to see this one. I have an interest in Hanafuda. And in fact, the numbering is based on the levels of these cards, so that's actually quite interesting. Yeah, I bet our opponent's gonna Link summon sometime soon. Yeah, at least here we've illustrated the weakness. Opponent playing more Hanafuda cards than you can normally play, but now I wish I had a way to nuke the graveyard. It would have been hard to... They have 4 cards in the yard. 3 actual Hanafuda cards and a spell card. So, now they got quite a bit. So now I'm on the lookout for effects. Now I'm on the lookout for effects that would protect them. But they definitely have the Synchro material, so they're going for it. Let's see what they Synchro out. Now let's see if this has protections. Okay. So they're gonna do a lot of special summoning. So basically, I apologize that you're pretty much watching our opponent do everything. Not as much interaction as, say, Magic the Gathering, but that's just how it is here. Yeah, I would really like to check this out. So opponent going for a bunch of effects here. Maple. Oddly enough. Okay, Recardination. What does that card do? There's got to be a spell that that lets you win based on the number of cards that are in the yard. If we had gone first, we would have been able to do nothing anyway, so functionally not so much different. It's just unfortunate that we're basically watching our opponent play Solitaire for quite a bit. Our opponent also has a full grip of cards, so even after we Dark Hole, they can still kind of chain off. And I'm also noticing that there are a bunch of destroy effects, so we should... Okay, let's see. That's a tuner summon. So does this have protection? Okay, it has protection from dark. So yeah, so unfortunately the one card that we could use to destroy this can't quite destroy it. We would actually need to draw 2 cards for that effect. Yeah, because this is a once per turn. And if this goes in battle, it can resummon constituent parts. If it summons 2 of them, it would be really bad because we only have 1 spell. Even if we draw another one, it's gonna kind of go nowhere. Yeah, so pretty much watching our opponent play solitaire. That is the nature of Yu-Gi-Oh! Though not the nature that I exactly wanted to see. I kind of remember back in the day when it's not this all in. Though those days were like what, early 2000s? Back when you could still interact with your opponent's cards for the most part. Yeah, pretty much the decks that are able to go this all in should not have this much protection. I would have actually... No, I wouldn't have been able to tribute this with... Yeah, this takes out spell or trap. It doesn't take out monsters, but... Yeah, we have both the wrong spell. Let's see... None of these are quick effects, though. So the only thing I need to dodge is this one. So in other words, I need to have Demise. So a pre-preparation of rights would be kind of... Okay, so I have 2 ways around it. I can either play... If I draw pre-preparation of rights, I can kind of bait it with Dark Hole. Opponent is going for another big card. That's the problem is if it's the same, if it's another copy of this. Yep. Thank goodness we actually went first. We did not go first. We would have died right away. Yeah, so now a spell is not gonna do it. We also would not... I don't think we would also be able to... Yeah, we would have to ritual summon, but it would be blanked out. Pre-preparation of rights would not do it. Yeah, there's too much protection now. And take note that our opponent has taken... This almost feels like an episode of we did not play test this at all. Then again, the fact that... Okay, does this have protection? You cannot target with card effects. Also, those monsters cannot be destroyed by card effects. Okay, so there's too much protection here. So... No. So I can do this, but... This gets negated immediately. And I can't even cast anything else, so... Yeah, there's just way too much protection here. Like, this won't tribute whose total levels are exact. That's a problem with End of the World. Yeah, we'll just surrender this one. This one is it goes to show how important hand traps are. That's the one thing that this deck does not have, but it's one thing I recommend players try to get. But How many? Does it become a game where you have to have at least 50% hand traps? Probably, I guess. And now, and note in all those card sequences, there's a lot of inherent destroy this, destroy that. So we have a ritual spell, we have a ritual monster. I can use turning to, so I can use this to. Unfortunately, it adds a ritual spell when what I want to do is add a ritual monster. What I could do though is. Okay, we got the Candoll. We're gonna go effect activation. See if this gets countered. That get what? Okay, so it's okay, so pendulum. So now we need to see if we're more likely to lose them by card effect or not. Okay, let's do a check. Battle damage 25. You can destroy. If you can destroy this card, add one pendulum monster. If this card was fusion summoned, it is unaffected by so this is battle phases. Take out the ones on the board. So it does have a bottomless pit. Tribute ritual monsters from your hand, or and this banishes it, unfortunately. So, not so great. Let's see. Yeah, we'll let that go. Not that great. Yeah, usually usually would go with card effects because that's probably what's gonna destroy me. Yeah, I kind of made the mistake with getting Demise. Yeah, not very great. We're probably gonna lose this to combat. So we kind of goofed up by not getting Ruin. We were concerned that because we were concerned our opponent had the fusion components. Plenty of straight removal. So yeah, we should have gone for Ruin immediately. Do they now have the two halves of the pendulum? Not quite. What effect is this? It's adds from deck to hand, okay. we did draw Demise. So we can actually use this to... So, basic defense. Now we can get a spell from the yard. But that would be incantation. I think I'd rather just get one from the deck. Now, Cycle of the World, it has to be exact. Ritual is... No, Cycle of the World is exact or exceed, so we'll use that. Now, the question is, do we have the math for this? Because our next thing to do is to Monster Reborn, Queen of Oblivion. That should give us enough attack. No hand trap. Yes. Unfortunately, still not enough damage to get through. That it leaves our opponent with 600, and we are now completely shields down. So our opponent can still get dig their way out of this. Now, Cycle of the World can get us... Yeah, that's a Dark Hole. We can use Cycle of the World to get us a spell and a creature back, so any imp is good already. Opponent goes for the full Pendulum, so their last card must be something they can get out by Pendulum. Quite a bit of damage. We can still activate a 2000 at least if we can somehow get the Demise back, but it really depends on what our... So we really have to be careful of what we get back. Oh no, we can't activate to destroy. We have to literally run over one of these smaller cards. So Manju would do it. So activate Cycle. Gets us End of the World. Add a designated card to hand. It has to be Ruin because we're probably gonna be attacking two. I'm looking at board effects. Once per turn. That's not a quick effect. That's not a quick effect. That's not a quick effect. Yeah, we get this one back. Opponent concedes. They realize that we're going to be able to re-summon it again. Yeah, my math was wrong on the Demise, but our math was correct in that we had enough damage to get them back with Ruin Queen of Oblivion. So not so bad. We got 2 wins. I still don't... Yeah, but against a deck that is fully primed and prepared, like that last Hanafuda deck, not too confident in that one. We'll try going second, but we might be watching. We might be watching other players play. So generally, playing first is good unless you have. The reason I'm willing to go second is because of Ash Blossom, Lightning Storm. So we will have to use Turning to... Slightly awkward that Impcantation is a 7 and not an 8. Also awkward that we don't have any... So unless our opponent has a huge chain that can protect itself... Hey, nice, we got Ruin. So we have choices. We're most likely gonna go for Demise. Discard one card from your hand. Equal or exceed, but these are incantations, so we'll discard that one. I don't like giving them that clue. So, Cycle of the World only goes for field, so we will have to use Turning of the World first, summon a Demise, use Demise to wreck the board. Unfortunately, no tuners, but this could easily be a Link monster. Yeah, this is most likely a Link monster. Could be Exceeds also, actually. They got 2 8s. Oh wow, that's one big Link monster. So Link at 2/8. This. Okay, so a bunch of summoning abilities, but no protection. It's really gonna depend on that card. Impcantation Chalislime, you can reveal this card in your hand, discard, and if you do special summon one from your deck, so we can actually discard this to tutor out another pertinent effect. Like, I can use this to tutor out Candoll to get us the appropriate one. So we would have choices between Cycle and Demise. So opponent definitely has a ton of dark monsters there. So the key part is how much protection does our opponent have? Most of the time you want Demise, but there are actually, yeah, like in that last match, Ruin was actually quite good. So opponent using their once per turn special summon. Okay. So use Impcantation Chalislime first, discard to... Okay, another card. So what are those cards? That's the question. Pre-preparation. Oh, that's perfect. We have to get an 8 though. And the reason is big. As much as I want to get a 10, it's... Yeah, we... Draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards. Okay, that doesn't really do anything. So we get pre-preparation true. So End of the World allows us to tribute from hand. And we probably want another... Oh, we actually want to take the Ruin. We'll let our opponent finish all their things first. Yeah, so this one... No quick effects. So it's all down to this card here. So let's see if our opponent has an out to that. Solemn Judgment takes them down to takes them down to by half. That's fine. Plan B. Discard. Discard one card from hand. Discarding Cycle. Special Summon Candoll. So get another end. So use end first. Specials. Now we activate this first because it's going to destroy everything. Then we can use turning to summon something else, but I might want to save it. Yeah, we're gonna save it. Because if we need to do another board wipe, we have one more Demise in hand. Oh wait, we shouldn't have saved it. Our opponent, I forgot our opponent went down to 4,000. Went down on life points. Opponent digging. I forgot we had the win already. Yeah, we made a mistake. We could have won right then and there. Oops. Let's chalk it up to experience. Opponent goes for... Okay. Oh, they had tons of Twin Twisters. I think they're going for an empty hand thing. Has an Ash. Oh, they didn't have anything. Yeah, that's a concession. Yeah. Yeah, opponent did not have... Yeah, opponent... We lucked out there. We made the mistake. We could have gotten the kill by ourselves. We're still in the... We're still quite new here, I'll be honest. We're not perfect here. So, there we go. Not... All in all, not too bad. We got more wins than we honestly deserved. I did not expect to have these matchups a lot closer. Probably because I've been running into so many of our opponents. Quiet, doll. Sorry about that. I'm gonna do a quick check on... Yeah, because I need to go live on stream in a moment. I need to see if I have time for one more match. Also, I have no idea how long was my last video. So because we need to at least maintain more or less the same standard. You know what? There is time on our end. Let's do one more. Okay, go second again. Not sure if that's great. Oh, our last video was over an hour and a half. I probably will not be able to do that long, so this would be the last one. So we do have few key cards. We have pre-prep, we have Manju, so... And we have an End of the World, so we can easily go for Queen or Demise, depending on the situation. But Neo's Fusion is a bit scary, though. Yeah, that's opponent going for Elemental Hero Bravery. For the rest of this turn, you cannot special summon monsters. So it's basically a one-shot special summon. And opponent did not drop anything else. We drew a Crealtar, but this is only good if we actually have... Okay, we'll do pre-prep. I bet our opponent has hand traps. Actually, if I was afraid of hand traps... Oh, okay, opponent did not have the hand traps. We will take one cycle, but we're most... And we will take a Demise in hand. Opponent does have a response of sorts. Now, this is a 10. When this card destroys an opponent's monster, you can add a spell or trap card. So this is most likely going to rely on spells and traps. So we're going to add Ruin Supreme Queen instead to hand. That gives us a good target for End of the World. I probably should have gotten a second end, no, because if our opponent does counter this, yeah, they definitely have an effect. I have no idea what it is. If it's an effect that just pumps power, I'm gonna be really miffed. It is. Oh wait, by 100? Do they have another one? Oh, it's quite a big one. Okay. So that was really bad. But what is the and you can add, it adds a spell or trap, so that was a dud. Now that said, we can reset this. Yeah, now we have to use Cycle, unfortunately. But we can get her back. We need to special summon. Yeah, I think the correct play would have been to go for Demise. Yeah, I got greedy there. The correct play would have been to go for Demise. So we're gonna be losing quite a lot of hit points here. You can banish this card instead. Okay, we're gonna have to spend another one. Not so great, not the great use here. Kind of suiciding our way. Actually, remember our opponent. I think their last deck also was an Elemental Fusion deck. Yeah, but that was not a great position for us to be in. In fact, just being able to get the regular Elemental Hero Neos is enough to end us, so we practically lost the game. I think the correct play here would... No, the correct play there would have been to go for regular Demise. No, instead of Combat Ruin, we should have gone for Supreme King of Annihilation. Then what would have happened is... we would have been able to... it would have still survived battle. We would still be paying 2000 HP, but it probably would not die that quick, although our opponent has a lot of equipped effects, so it does have ways of going over the top. Though in this case, it's kind of irrelevant here. We're kind of dead. Yeah, they did have a hand trap. That's a bummer, but it is what it is. No, yeah, at least I'm able to show you that those earlier wins are possible, but losses are also just as possible. It's easy to make mistakes, especially if you're not familiar with what to expect from your opponent's deck. I was already suspicious there was a hand trap because of all the pauses, but I should have been. I was expecting a destroy hand trap. I was not expecting a power up hand trap. If I'd expected the combat hand trap, what I would have done is I would have summoned Demise. I would have tried to rat their side of the board immediately, and that would have been it. Anyway, that's pretty much going to be it for this deck. As much as I'd like to explore this deck further, for the most part, the main weaknesses is you're pretty much spending a lot of cards hoping to interact on your own turn. You don't have much in the way of interacting on your opponent's turn unless you sacrifice some cards. Okay, let's actually go over some of the cards that we can give up. There are actually quite a few. Like some of the Candolls, we can give those up. The primary ones that are important are the rare ones, the Talismandra and the Candoll. The other two, not so much. That's why I only have 2 copies of each. I could, like, say, cut them down for 1 each and go for more solemn like spells. Like there's a Solemn Scolding, Solemn Strike is a good one, but spells that you can duke out from your hand is also quite good. We also aren't exactly summoning Crealtar, so maybe there's an argument for, like, the Chalislime is a very good one because it allows you to discard the card and summon an Impcantation. That's what the Crealtar, not so much. It's not very easy to get to this effect. It is possible though. But so I guess 2 copies of each are correct. Turning of the World, still not sure on the number of copies there. I guess there's an argument for Cycle of... You kind of still want both Cycle and End because it's not often that you're going to get exact Cs. Like, if you want to get exact on... It's actually not easy to get... Like if you're casting an 8, it's not easy to get exact 8 on the board using just some Impcantations. You would need both an Impcantation and a Manju. Like, the Ash Blossom's a tree, so you'd actually need the Bookstone if you're aiming for 8. So, but you still want 2 copies of End of the World though because of the cycle, so I guess the 2/2/2 is still correct. Pre-prep is correct. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much all I can say about this deck. You can probably reduce the number of Talismandras. I actually cut down the number of Ruin and Demise because we have so much... We're depending a lot on tutoring effects. Also, we need those creatures on board anyway. But that's going to be pretty much it for this episode of From Solo to Duel. If you like what you saw, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Turn on notifications and whatnot. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I really hope to see you guys again next time. Take care, God bless, stay safe wherever you are. Have a great week, everyone. Take care.